Let's start today's session. A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepared for it today. With this quote, in this pleasant morning, to refresh and create an impact onto the minds, Department of ECE, Savita Engineering College, brings to you a webinar on COVID-19 lockdown, a boon or crisis by Mr. R.S. Mani, founder and director of AdCom Technology and Verb Academy, Chennai. Savita Engineering College, established in the year 2001, an autonomous institution which follows the Finland-based education model, and we march towards less is more concept. Our college makes the students job ready by providing Industry 4.0 ready curriculum which imparts the 21st century skills. Project-based learning integrated with subjects improves the student skill set and makes our learners to be the best, which is the motto of our college. The Department of EC was established in the year 2001. Our vision is to develop the department into a state of art with Center of Excellence in Electronics and Communication Engineering education on par with global standards. The Department of ECE has well experienced faculty of proven ability and diverse specialization. The faculty actively involves themselves in research in the fields of robotics, VLSI, MEMS, image processing, and embedded systems. Now, I would like to introduce our guest of the day. Mr. R.S. Mani, a serial entrepreneur since 2004, has a core strength in business management and has served the industry building customers with the latest technology. Mr. R.S. Mani is the director of AdCom Technology Solutions Private Limited since 2004 that provides complete electronic security solutions like CCTV surveillance systems, biometric access control systems, fire alarm systems, etc. AdCom protects leading malls like Phoenix Market City, Express Avenue, Abhirami Mall, and many multi-story apartments and villas. He has also got two new startups named MySTIP, a lifesaver wearable, and VIP of Life that saves lives. Mr. R.S. Mani has completed his bachelor's in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, and graduated from Founders Institute, San Francisco in the year 2017. He has undergone training with Siemens USA, Emma UK, Mobotics, Germany. He has a vast business experience traveling to countries like Sultanate of Oman, UAE, UK, and the Republic of China. Mr. R.S. Mani has a great interest in interacting with youngsters and helping them to think of new trends in the business and guiding them to be successful. We are very happy to have you with us today, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Vanakkam.
You may take over the session now, sir. It's all yours.
Sure. Awesome. Awesome. I really thank Savita Engineering College for this awesome initiative of bringing a platform of experts sharing the knowledge to students community, and I am also very happy to present you the trending topic. Shall I share my? Yes. Is the screen okay and am I audible?
Yes, everything is fine.
Okay. So when Savita Engineering team approached me to talk about the subject, any topic which will encourage or motivate the people, especially the students community, I just thought that let us take a topic which is trending and very useful for people. That is COVID-19 lockdown. What kind of an impact this COVID-19 is creating? So before we start the real session, let me understand what kind of an audience we have. So we are actually going to have this session very interactive. It is not a lecture based. So many questions are going to be put on to you as a polling questions, and you can please answer. So understanding the audience and also what is the problem of the audience is very important for the speaker, and we are here to solve your problems. Okay, so let us just have the polling questions launched. So this is our first polling question. Let us know what kind of an audience you are, and You can also tell us, is the language okay in English, or you want to speak in Tamil here and there? You can put on the chat box what kind of a language you want me to talk. English is okay. Teachers are here. So is it English okay, guys and girls and teachers? Are you comfortable in English? So this particular first question, we want to make you familiarize on your polling questions. I don't know, like earlier, whether you were doing so many polling questions, but this session is going to be, we have around 20 plus polling question. So I want equal participation from each one of you, all the students here. So let us know how many students, around 77, 80% of the students community are here watching our session live. So I want every student to kindly participate. This is a trending topic today. So by polling question, we really understand whether you are really focused here. So that is the reason I'm leaving some time for this particular polling question, but subsequent polling questions, we may not be giving this much time. So I want everybody to participate and tell what is your job title, like are you a student or you a teacher or you a parent or business owners, an employee of an organization or others. Kindly just make 100% focus here and participation for the rest of 1 hour. It's going to be around 1 hour session. Is there so many videos we are going to share you which you have never seen and thought about. This is going to guide you how to fight against this corona-19 and become so successful in your domain area. And we are also giving a lot of tips for you guys. Okay, students, how you need to attend these kind of webinars and also your online classrooms. Okay, so shall we end? So it's almost like 75% of people are students. Okay, awesome. Hi, Nanba and Nanbis, how are you? Okay, so we'll start the session. So this COVID-19, since December 2019, it has been creating a great impact on every individual, let it be a student or a parent, or it can be a teacher, professors, and the whole management is having a great pressure, tension. Am I right? So some people, definitely this COVID-19 has opened up a new thought. So we are actually going to explore, what kind of an impact. This is a big ocean, no? This topic is a very big ocean. Impact of COVID-19. Is it a boon or a crisis? Is a very big ocean. We can talk 1 full day or 2 days about this. But running short of time, we have picked up a few areas where we want to highlight, especially for students community. You are very much worried about education. What is the kind of impact it created on education and on the environment where we stay? And how about our health and public health? How about the business, to lightly touch upon, since I am a businessman? And more importantly is the human emotion, how we can tackle this problem of facing this COVID-19 successfully and coming out of this as a team, as a whole society, how we can come out. Okay, now my first real question to you all. How many of you feel this COVID-19 has created a big question mark for your future? Definitely it has created for me. For you also, has it created a big question mark? How it's going to be my future? I'm worried about my future, how this is going to be. As a student, you are worried, how is your next year going to be? How is your higher studies are going to be? So how many of you are very much worried? And by the way, we will be sharing all the polling questions to you. So you will also understand whether my thought is correct or wrong. Okay, so that is the speciality of these polling questions. And I think how many audience we have, ma'am? Around 85 plus people are there right now. And I hope people are joining.
Yes, sir, they'll join, sir.
Yes, fantastic.
They will be joining.
Okay, so I am going to give you exactly 60 seconds for every polling session. So I want everybody to focus here and then do your polling. So this particular session is very, very important. Like, has it created a big question mark for you in your life? Presently, you're hearing so many problems, worries. some good and some bad also. So is it creating some kind of a worry in you? Come on, guys. Please share you, and all the questions, whatever you are voting, that is going to be shared back to you. So you know what is the thought of your co-participants who are here in the session. Okay, so shall we end the polling right now? Okay, I want everybody to respond. Don't take the last moment to respond. So see, 69% of the people are worried about their future. It's a very big threat, is it not? This COVID-19 has created a very big threat for most of the people. So some are not clear about their future. No, I am clear. 18% say I am clear about it. So that is very good. Good is for these guys. No, 18% people who feel that irrespective of this kind of a pressure and impact, I am very clear about their future. Awesome, guys. Okay. So now let us understand where is this COVID started? No, like where was the launch pad for this COVID? And when it happened in December 2019, they say from reptiles like bat, it spread to humans, and it was happening at Wuhan. Wuhan is this district or the place where exactly this COVID originated. Okay, from there it started spreading all over China, and from China there were a lot of travelers, especially from America, Hong Kong. See, even Hong Kong is much affected, and Southeast Asia. All these people, whoever was traveling there to China, through them it started to migrate to all over the world. And as such, India was very much less affected initially because there was no much people traveling from China. The most vulnerably affected place were Italy, and then USA was vulnerably, Spain again, it was vulnerably affected. Okay, right. So I do have one more polling question for you guys. So as I told you, you will have so many polling questions to make this session very interactive. Okay, so let us understand really, is any of your known neighbor, a relative or friends got affected by this corona? Anybody? Like in my home, near to my home, one of my neighbor got affected and he even expired. That's what the news and corporation blocked that area. So I would love to know that, is any of it's a polling question. I'm going to launch you guys. Yeah, it's launched. So is any of your known neighbor, relative or friends got affected by corona? Yes, affected but recovered. Yes, affected but not recovered. They have really got affected. No one got affected in my circle. Okay, good. Hope most of the people are from all over Tamil Nadu, or how is it, ma'am?
It is even from all over India, sir.
All over India.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, okay, great. So I'm hearing some good news from the participant that almost around 75% of the people say that they have not got affected in any of their known circle. So this clearly depicts the ratio, no, like number of people per billion or million people affected whole India. I'm just going to end the poll now. So I'm going to share each and every result for you guys. Okay. So see this, 75% of the people are not affected. Only this 25% is the real impact creating, and this should not spread to the rest of 75%. And we are also going to give you some tips and tricks how to maintain this 75% to 95 and 100%. We have to upscale that and reduce this 25% to 1%, 0.5%, and reduce finally to 0%. Okay. So now, since mostly you are all students, I have a question now. Education. So in education, when you see mostly the schools, colleges, universities, research institutions, are almost closed. This is not. So it's almost like since February, I think most of the institutions are all closed. And people have started to learn from their home. So this again is a big crisis for most of the people who are habituated every day to go to school or college and study. They feel something different. Like you have two different kind of people. One, whatever they start habituated, they are feeling difficult to change over. Some are good quick changeovers. There are people who get habituated to a particular system. They feel very difficult. It can be a teacher, or it can be even the students, or anybody, business owners, whoever it may be. They feel very difficult to come across a new cycle, new life cycle, or a new routine they want to start with. It becomes very difficult for them. So it is a big crisis for those people. But there are few people who are an early adapters. They are ready to adapt to the changes. I hope you will have mix of both. And there are some teachers and students find difficult in live webinar. How many? Maybe you will have, so many of you have this kind of a problem. So let us just check out whether I have a polling question for you guys for this particular thing. Okay, so let me just start this polling question before we enter into this live education. Are you feeling comfortable learning and teaching? Teachers are also there. Teaching in online live education. Let us understand what people say. You are all the people. So what you say about this live online education? Are you feeling very comfortable, or you feel, no, I am not feeling comfortable. I really love the traditional way of education style, going to college, going to school and learning. So how many of you feel like this online education has opened up a new, a new world where I can learn more? Come on, guys. I would love everybody to participate. Only 60-70% are participating. What happened to the rest? It's more on the knowledge sharing, whichever is important now. So you have to fully focus on the session, and I want full participation answering the polling question. You should only take, you're all youngsters, you should just take 30 seconds to answer. Okay, so almost, okay, so you can see the result. Most of the people say, I don't feel comfortable in online education, 55%. But equally I see the people are responding, I feel comfortable in online education. Something really great. You can see the result. Is it really amazing? See, this COVID-19, even though we say it is a crisis, has opened up a new world to people like us. This online education, where they're already in this world, in this universe, but we were not showing interest on that. But now presently, this COVID-19 has forced us to go for online live education, and people started to adapt it. And awesome, man. Like you have just told, like 53%, 55% feel I am not happy, but 48% equally. And there are some people who have not voted. So looking into that, I feel this has really opened up. And but still, why people, that 50% of the people are feeling very difficult? Let us understand that. Because the speaker are not trained to talk before the camera. They're very comfortable on an offline system. And the second one is, you don't have greater attendance. People are there present, but they are physically present. Virtually they are present, but their mind is not on the classroom. Access issue for attendees, depending on the technical problems, whatever you face, there may be an issue for the attendees. And most of the people, like you will have some background noise which will affect other co-participants. there will be lack of engagement, no? Like if it is going to be a teacher on the dais and then focusing on the students on an offline system, they know clearly what kind of a body language every individual has got. But here being virtual, they are not able to really understand the body language of the student. Either it's a vice versa, students understanding the body language of the teacher. Okay, so there you have a lack of engagement happening. So technical issue, no doubt, undoubtedly, every people face this technical issue on a day-to-day basis. You are not able to connect on live online on the YouTube channel, or you have some kind of an internet issue, whichever comes, that you should have a standby for that. And people doesn't ask questions. If it had been like an offline system, you start asking questions, sir. Mr. Raj, please answer. Miss Vanita, please answer. So teachers start focusing them and asking the questions. So these are all the difficulties and problems you face. And now it's time for us to have some tips to look how presentable it is. Actually a video for both teachers and students to understand the etiquettes of you addressing and receiving on the virtual videos. I will just start the video. You just say if the audio is there. Anybody can tell if the audio is there, then we will continue it.
Tips to look present.
Audio is there?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Okay, fantastic. This is a wonderful video for teachers and students both together. Kindly watch and you can tell your feedback on the chat box.
Presentable in video call. Number 1. Stay in the center of the screen. Your face shouldn't be too high or too low. Number 2. Camera should be at face level and should maintain a distance of 30-inch or 1 arm distance. Number 3. Light should be in front of you, not behind you. Number 4. While using a phone for video call, make sure it's in landscape mode. Number 5. Your background should be preferably plain or minimalistic. If possible, use a virtual background with your company logo. Number 6. Try to make sure nobody keeps moving around behind you while you are in the meeting. Number 7. Keep the camera on. It's considered indecent to keep the camera off. Number 8. Keep the mic on mute when you are not speaking. Number 9. Rename to make sure your company and your name appears. Number 10. Try being still. Do not move a lot. And don't fidget. Number 11. Eating is not considered decent. However, sipping a cup of coffee or tea is fine. Number 12. When you have to speak, speak in normal tone. Do not shout. Number 13. Always be on time, or 5 minutes early for meeting. Number 14. Dress smart and appropriately. You might have to stand. Number 15. When you are done, let the team know by telling, "I am done" or "Thank you." Number 16. Stick to the time limit. Do not exceed it. Number 17. Always have a pen and paper handy to make notes of important points in meeting. Number 18. Make sure your battery power, mic, speakers, internet connection, and camera are all up and running. Number 19. Be attentive, focused, and avoid multitasking. Number 20. If you have to speak, prepare and practice your presentation or script. Most importantly, be yourself and smile.
Right. So was the video useful to you people, participants? Was the video useful for teachers as well as the students? Put on the chat box. I'm actually not going to focus on the chat box. Any one people can just give an answer. Yes, okay. I'm not able to open up the chat box and watch each and every time. So maybe anyone can just open up your mic and then you can talk. Okay. So this is the etiquettes you need to follow when you are participant also as a speaker. Okay. Now the third one is, there is again a big crisis for students who are not able to attend their labs. It can be a researchers, or it can be a chemical lab or a mechanical lab. So you have a great difficulty that you are not able to go to a laboratory and do your practical testing. So no doubt this Corona-19, this COVID-19 has stopped you to go into your laboratory and do your testing and enrich or do the litmus test for yourself. So what is the fourth one? The participant health gets affected. It's not only the participant, even the speaker. Sitting in one place for 2 to 3 hours is going to be really a tussling task for you guys. So today, I had been almost like 100 webinars I had done in the last 2 months. How many? 100 webinars. And Madam was introducing me as a serial entrepreneur. We do have one more organization called WOW Academy to help business owners to increase scale up their business multifold. So I used to conduct 2 to maximum 4 webinars every day. So even now when you see me, actually, I am doing my webinar standing up, standing posture. The reason is when you keep sitting in your chair for 2 to 3 hours, it becomes a big pressure on your back pain, and you will not be able to focus on your webinar, future webinars. So let us just understand. And also one main problem you will face is the indigestion. You're going to sit in one place for 2 to 3 hours. It is going to create indigestion for you guys. You must have faced it if you are going to attend, or maybe you are doing this. Lower back pain is the biggest problem. And I have 3 tips for you guys. And let us welcome a guy who is going to help you out. Are you all ready? So let us hear from him. Let me go back. Let us stop this. Okay. Are you ready to hear the tips? This is a wonderful tips for you teachers as well as the students who are going to participate. Please listen for this carefully and follow it.
These are my 3 best tips to reduce lower back pain when sitting. Hey guys, this is Mark Robinson, physical therapist with Evercore Physical Therapy. If you're sitting long hours at the office, you're working, responding to emails, and you're getting lower back pain, you have a strain possibly in your upper back or in your neck, then keep watching this video because I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of my favorite tips to reduce strain in the lower back when sitting. The first tip that I recommend is to improve your sitting posture. If you are sitting for many hours, you're going to be benefiting by positioning your spine in a more neutral position. So I have the Evercore low back support around my office chair right now. I'm going to bring my hips all the way to the back of the chair, and the low back support is going to help to support my spine in a better position. It maintains the natural arch to my lower back. And that's important because when you're standing up, that's the position of the spine. The muscles are not being strained, and it's a very comfortable position to be in. And you're going to want to be here more often than not. If you are slouched like this, it's not wrong to do this movement. I want everybody to know that slouching is a normal movement of the body. But if you are going to maintain this position all day long, that is when it becomes a problem. The body and the spine can start to fatigue. If you maintain this for a couple hours and you're not moving, then you can develop a strain in your neck, in your lower back, and that's often what happens with many of my clients. If people come in and they have lower back pain while sitting, they typically rapidly reduce their pain by correcting their sitting posture. If we put this EverCore low back support in their lower back and we bring their hips back all the way, and they're able to maintain this position more often during the day, they will experience reduced pain. You can get a bath towel. You can roll up this bath towel and put that in your lower back when you're sitting in your chair. And for many of you, this is going to help to reduce pain on the lower back. And if you notice that you feel more comfortable in sitting with that back support, with that towel roll, then that shows that you should probably be using the EverCore low back support. Tip number 2 is to just stand up out of your chair. One of the best things that you can do for your spine and your body is to move. So stand up out of your chair just like that, and then do some squats. You're just gonna squat up and down just like this, and just to get your body moving. If your hips are positioned in hip flexion like this when you're sitting, then it gets stiff and tight. Your low back can get stiff and tight. And one of the best things for you to do is literally just to stand up. Now, I know many of you are just busy working, you're responding to emails, you get very absorbed with what you're doing. But if you just invest a few seconds out of the day to stand up out of your chair, you're gonna feel so much better. I typically recommend standing up about every 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Just get up, go get a drink of water, stretch out a little bit, and just take that time to move your body so that way you can stay out of pain. The third tip that I recommend is to stand up and bend backwards. If you're sitting slouched in your chair, you're probably bending the spine forward more often than you're bending backwards. And to reverse the effects of all that sitting, what you can do is you can add some movement variety to your spine. And you can do that by putting your hands in your lower back, bring your feet apart about shoulder width, and then you're gonna go ahead and bend backwards just like this, and then come back to the starting position. So your hands are supporting your body weight. You're gonna go ahead and lean backwards to a comfortable point, and then come back to the starting position. As you start to feel more comfortable, you can go back further and further each time. And this positions your spine into extension. It's very good to move your body into this direction. And there are so many of my clients that are able to quickly reduce or fully eliminate their lower back pain and sciatica by just moving their spine in the opposite direction of what they usually do. So if you are living at your desk, if you spend a lot of time working on your computer or you're at the office and you find that you are slouched like this, again, being slouched for a few minutes at a time is not likely to harm you. But if you are spending a lot of time like this all day long, for weeks and months and even years, that has a cumulative effect on your body. And what you need is you need movement variety to your spine. So stand up, bend backwards when you're working. And if you do that several times during the day, for example, you can do this every 4 hours or every 3 or 4 hours. Just stand up and do 10 repetitions of bending back. And I guarantee you're gonna start to feel the effect.
Okay, guys, was the session useful? Was the video useful to you people? Can you answer? Yes? Okay, so the thing is, you should have a bath towel which has to be rolled out, rolled as a cylinder, and you put out in the back. Okay, so that your back pain, you are not stressing on your back, on the lower back of yours, and you will not have the problem. Okay. And also you need to do the stretch. Whenever you are sitting for more than 45 minutes, you have to just wake up, get up from your chair or your seat, and then you have to just make sure you do your stretching exercise. Are you all ready? So this is something very, very important for you to make sure you don't have any fatigue problem of your back pain or indigestion. And now let us open up actually this COVID-19, what kind of advantages it has brought to this education industry. So now everything is online, am I right? So online live webinar, students starts attending webinar meeting from anywhere, anytime, am I right? So that's something really interesting. So when normally in colleges, when you want to go for offline colleges, you need to just wake up early morning. Maybe some guys would have, some students would have got up by 5, even the teachers would have got up by 5:30, and then would have traveled for 1 hour, 2 hours, and then they reach their college. Again, the same process repeats when you are going to come back to your home. So this hectic problem is really solved. So whenever you want, at your comfort, you can just open up your laptop or your mobile phone and start watching your live webinar. Your favorite teacher, professors are going to teach to you from anywhere you are. And this is something very interesting for the management. One teacher can address more students. Okay, so you will have, with limited good teachers, you will be able to address a huge audience. Something really fascinating, is it not? And so many freelancers also can join as a teacher or a professor. Even though they are in some other job, they come as a walk-in teacher or professors. See, the one teacher addressing a huge audience, like what I'm doing right now. Now, today we are having more than 100 plus participants and one person. If it had been like an offline session, it would have been so difficult. Even 10,000 people can be addressed by a single teacher. So that's something great, is it not? Then taking education globally. This is a message to teachers here. So it's a great opportunity for you to become a global teacher. Why limiting yourself only within your organization? You can become a global teacher. You can take your specialized subject for different universities sitting in one place. Since English is the main language spoken all over the globe, say 1.75 billion people worldwide speak English at a useful level. So we, especially in South India, we are very strong on English. So you take this golden opportunity to enhance yourself and upscale yourself to become a global teacher. So what do you mean by global teacher? Global teacher, definitely you have to enhance your skills also to become a global teacher, no doubt. So to become a global teacher, you have to be a competent teacher who is armed with enough skills, appropriate attitude, and universal values to teach students with both time-tested as well as modern technology in education in any place in the world. He or she is someone who thinks and acts both locally and globally with worldwide perspective right in the communities where he or she is situated. Because you are going to address different audience who have got different culture, you should be able to hook up all your participants in a nice way so that all your audience or participants like you and they start following your classes. So this is the message for the teacher. And then finally, this online education saves time for both management as well as the users. It saves money, it saves value. You have a choice which session you want to take, and you will save time, travel time normally, which most of the college students take like 1 hour, 2 hours, they travel every day. That is being saved, and you will be able to spend that time effectively in some other productive manner. Okay, right. So now, how many of you feel like this is a, let us understand from you guys. Now I have a polling question for you. Okay, so let us understand. Do you want this online live education to be continued even when the corona stops after a few months? Do you really? There is a polling question, guys. So please answer this. No, not at all. Yes, this is comfortable with 100% online, fully. Yes, but need both online and offline, both together in a different ratio. Offline is 25%, online is 75%. Like you have 5 days per week, maybe one day every week you go to the college. Other 4 days you're spending on online classes. And the other way around is 75% offline and 25% online. And yes, but we need both offline 50-50. 3 days here, 3 days in the college. I love everybody to participate. 101 people are here, and I want everybody to participate in the polling question because there are so many people participating. It should be fair enough to give them the respect, and we also vote for that. Last 30 seconds for you guys. I want full participation so that we are able to, like 60-70% only is voting. So I want full focus on the session, and let us all together make this world great by making a brainstorming session now. It's all the mind of the public, is it not? So let us just stop the poll with the last 5 counts. 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't know why, like 1 minute why you are waiting. Like when I tell the count, you start voting faster. I want everybody to participate, just to take about 15 seconds or 20 seconds to answer your polling questions. Okay, so shall we stop now? 2-1. So shall we see the results? How many of you want to see the results? Chat, put on the chat box. Bring it on money, BIOM. Bring it on money, so I will be bringing the answer for you guys. How many of you want to know the results? Type on the chat box BIOM. Okay, see, people want 50-50. People want 50-50, like they want 50% to be converted, offline to be converted into online courses. Really a big changeover, is it not? Like 19% feel that we can make offline 75% and online 25%, and the balance, like 11% says, let us make 75% online, sir, and 25% offline. And some few say that 100, like 17% says I'm very, very comfortable on online. 17%, a big score. And 15% say, no, not at all. I'm not ready for this. I want to go for the classroom and enjoy that experiences. Okay, great guys. You're a wonderful audience. Okay, let me see if I do have any other questions for you guys, and then we will move on to the next question. Okay, so these are all the questions. Efficiency, okay. Okay, let me stop it. Okay, so next questions after we enter into the session. So let us understand the impact of the environment. Now we are going to the second domain from education. Now we are entering into the second domain called what is the impact of COVID-19 in environment. How do you feel? How do you feel the environment? Air pollution have drastically reduced, is it not? 25% less carbon pollutions. Take the case in China. China, this is the, so much pollution is here. Can you see this? I'll show you. Okay. See this area? You have so much pollution. Otherwise, during the lockdown condition, you don't see much of the brown spot, which is very less reduced pollution. Carbon emissions has come down. 25% reduction in carbon emission and 50% reduction in nitrogen oxides emissions. And how about in India? India also the impact has happened. See this. our New Delhi, which is said to be most populated by air pollution, by more densely populated by more cars, vehicles, and you see the difference. Sea change. Okay, water pollution. What is the impact of water pollution on the environment by this COVID-19? See, this is actually a picture taken about from the satellite on Venice. When you see this purple color, actually it is all about what it is a water. It is a water source. So after pre-lockdown, you can see very less purple color. Post lockdown or during the lockdown, you can see in Venice water in the canals cleared and experienced a greater water flow. The increase in water clarity was due to the setting of sediment that is disturbed by boat traffic and mentioned the decrease in air pollution along the waterways. Drastic difference. Even Ganges has been encountered with a clean water flowing through Ganga because there is no water pollution from the industries wastages which normally happen. So now, how about the sea? See, this one, German scientist Rainer Froese has said the fish biomass will increase due to the sharp decline in fishing. People doesn't go for fishing during this corona, and projected that in European waters, some fish such as herring, this is a fish herring, could double their biomass. Biomass is the excreta of the fish. So once you have more of this biomass, you will have a lot of planktons to come up, grow. And then the total mass of the life inside the sea and ocean is increasing rapidly. Okay, so it's a sea change, isn't it, in the environment? So wild animals take on road when humans stay back in home. As people stayed at home due to lockdown, travel restrictions, some animals have been spotted. Shall we watch this video, which is something really amazing? Like you have so much wild animals coming near to your home and also in your streets. Shall we watch this video?
कुछ नहीं करेगा यार सारी कभी जाने पर मतलब कौन से रेडी जो है शर्मा और मतलब कोई ना भी होती
Okay, guys, did you saw? So what do you feel about this, the impact of COVID-19 on environment? I will just ask this question. It's time for you to vote for that and entirely on your lifestyle. Yes, what do you feel? Do you feel this COVID-19 is a boon or a crisis in your overall lifestyle? Because of the good environment change, are you able to hear the new birds chirping in the morning when you see? So many new animals like squirrels, everybody is coming, even snakes we are able to see. Am I right? Great audience you are. So now the polling is happening much faster. Great. So let us see the results. So people now feel it is good. It's making a good change, is it not? Okay, guys, now let us go to the next slide. So from environment, let us just enter into the main segment of the impact on COVID-19. Health, pandemic, more affected, more deaths. Worldwide report is very, very alarming. Even though we feel it is good, somewhere some people are getting very much affected, because this nobody can't replace this word called death. If somebody died, can you get them the life back to them? It's not at all possible. So which is not at all acceptable, is it not? So looking into that perspective, I personally feel this COVID-19 is a big crisis. See, in US alone, worldwide, around 446,000 people have died. 446,000 people. And 8.24 million people are affected by corona since inception. Can we agree this? Can we accept this? Not at all. So I am putting forth the question for the people who really feel it is a boon. It's a question for them. Is it really a boon or it's a crisis? See India, how much it is affected. Almost 12,237 people have died. Just imagine one people in our family or a relative have faced this death. Will you accept? So now a big question with us is how to fight this corona. Let us understand. And in India, it's almost like 360,000 people has confirmed corona, COVID-19. And 194,000 people have recovered from this. How about the rest? And in this death, whatever mentioned, there are some cases has not been even mentioned. Worldwide report on the age wise, which age this is affecting. We should really know which age. Mostly the age what it's affecting is the old people and the young people. That's what they say. Even here you can see that mostly the people are affected are 85 plus and 65 to 74. So those who are very aged has to be very careful, and who are very young also has to be very careful, because immunity is the only way you can cure this corona. And as such, in India, our ancestor has got a very good food habits, like we use turmeric, ginger, and black pepper, and also lime. Everything is, and they call that kabasura water, no, kabasura powder. That also they are using. It's all like a mix of all herbal elements. So I feel that that is the only remedy for this COVID. And I sincerely request you all guys to drink that kabasura powder, or drink this turmeric, a mix of turmeric, and then you have ginger, and then you have pepper. All this mix together in water, in a lukewarm water, is the only remedy for you guys. So how about the psychology impact on COVID-19? Let us just ask this question. How many of you feel fear? How many of you feel fear seeing this lockdown? Okay, so where is that question? Okay, you can put on the chat box. Let me try to take that question. Fear. How many of you felt that fear when you come across this corona? How many of you fear? You can put on the chat box. Okay, the question is here. I am launching the question. Has coronavirus at any point of time during the lockdown period or presently, even now, has it created any kind of a fear in you? It created for me, no doubt. Then and there, I get really feared. Is it going to affect? As if I feel that I am affected by corona. Sometimes I feel that. Whenever we hear this kind of a news, how many of you had that kind of a feel? Yes, but not that much. Not at all. So how many of you felt very much on this? That is something really, really crucial question. This is a very, very crucial question. So we should kill, or we have to break this obstacle of fear, whatever we are facing now. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. This question, a lot of people are answering. In fact, I see so many people are answering. Something very, very crucial question is this. Very important question in our tenure or the trend, whatever we are having right now. Has coronavirus at any point of time during the lockdown period or presently till now, has it affected or created a fear on you? Let us see the results. Shall we? Yes, to so many people, not much, but it has created almost 50%. Alarming. Alarming. Almost 50% of the people have this fear. So we have to change our mindset. This fear is a very, very important thing which is affecting our immunity even. That's what people say. See, there is one comical, this one I have seen in the WhatsApp. See, there was a more fear and then the corona was less. And they see ultimately when people have like what to say, like when they get habituated to this fear formula, and finally what happens? The fear is reduced, but the corona has increased. But ultimately still I see the live result that still people are feeling that small fear in them. That is a real fact. Okay. Right. Now let us go to the next one. How to reduce the spread? How to reduce the spread of this corona? So before I start this question, I would love, people are using your mask or sanitizer. Am I right? Everybody use your mask. Everybody has have their own personal mask and sanitizer. Let us understand from you guys, how many of you use this mask and sanitizers regularly? Whenever you meet a stranger coming to your home, mask to be worn even when you are in home. When you have somebody coming to your home, you have to make sure. I will tell you the facts and figures why you need to do that. Or when you go outside, some people will use the mask only when they go outside. I think that's the first one. I don't use when strangers are, when somebody coming in, like your relative or anybody coming in, even your parents go out and they come in, you have to make sure you wear your mask. I will tell you the reason why. Or you go outside and your parents are residing back in their home, they have to wear the mask when you go out and come back, at least for next 2 days or 3 days. There is a more probability like you may be a corona carrier and you transfer that corona to your parents. Okay, so yes, mostly I really like this. Almost everybody is using mask, but people don't use the mask when you have strangers coming in. That's something really worrying. Okay, but once we see one more slide, which I'm going to share you right now, then you will really understand why you also need to wear mask when you have strangers coming into your home, or even you yourself, when you go out and come back, your other relatives or your family members should wear the mask. Okay, so shall I share the results? Yes, alarming, isn't it? People, whenever they go outside and use mask when I meet strangers at home. Okay, great. So why you need to have this mask is here. See this COVID-19, if for example, I am a COVID-19 carrier, if I don't use the mask, you use the mask, still there is a more probability of 70% you getting affected by me because I am not wearing the mask. If I wear the mask and you don't wear the mask, still there is a possibility of 5% you getting affected because of me. Okay. Next, when both people wear the mask, the COVID-19 carrier as well as the healthy person, there is only very little chance of spreading this COVID from the carrier to the healthy person. It's only hardly 1.5%. So for us in this critical situation, especially in India, when we want to stop this corona spreading and when we want to bring it to normal, let us all take a oath now, today, that irrespective of you being a carrier or a healthy person, you should wear a mask. Are you all there? Shall we all take that oath now? That is the only remedy for you to stop this corona getting spread or getting affected, either way. So 40% of the transmission happens before you knowing that you are affected by corona. Just understand that. Okay. So you need to wear this mask irrespective of whether you are affected or not affected. Whenever you see a third person, even a relative or a family member goes out and come, you should make sure you wear the mask so that there may be a possibility of he having a carrier, he becoming a carrier and then he affects you. Okay. So make this point very clear. If possible, take a snapshot of this particular screen. Keep it. This is a very important slide in this whole session. Okay, so now we are going to the next segment of COVID-19, in what way it is affecting the business. I see some few business owners also here, and also some budding entrepreneurs, students who want to become a businessman or a startup founders. So how this is affecting, this particular chart will showcase you, there are very few segments where there is a great growth happening. One is on the media, that's the social media, where we are through WOW Academy. Actually, we train people on Facebook marketing, how to do or how to become so successful on your Facebook marketing. So that's the reason we tell all our audience, even though this COVID-19 has created a great impact on the other business, it has not affected us because we were doing so good during this COVID-19, because it has opened up a great business and the great world, taking our business worldwide through online education. Okay, so this media is the one part, and then finance. So many people need money now, so the finance business also has grown, and then the food, immunity-based foods, and then ultimately healthy foods, it has increased, and then the healthcare, no doubt. People want to take treatment, medicine, all those, the healthcare. Other than these four, you see almost like advertisement, agriculture, construction, e-commerce, education, energy, then software, technology, transportation, logistics, everywhere you have manufacturing, very much affected. And especially tourism got much affected. You can see that. Travel, that is called tourism. Telecom is also much affected. So if you want to become an entrepreneur or make a quick start on as a businessman, so these four domains you can see. Pharma is again, it's doing good because you need to have drugs and medicines to be done, made for the patients. Okay. See, this is a shocking news, today's newspaper. Kevin Kerr, owner, like you see Mira Shikai and Velvet Shampoo, he's the founder. We have shut down our corporate office and closed all the branches. We see no need for it. We have called for bids from tenants for 40,000 square feet of his office. He is going to rent it out. He doesn't want office. Only factories and R&D centers will have employees. So big impact on the real estates, is it not? And malls shut, all the brick and mortar business is gone. This again is a big crisis for the complete cash flow of economics happening in the whole world. Okay, so before I enter into the human emotions, I have one more interesting polling questions for you. So I don't know whether I have shared the earlier polling question to you. So this is the answer for that. So you guys can have a look on that. So I'm very happy that 68% of the people use mask whenever they meet strangers or whenever they go outside. Even though in their home, they wear the mask whenever they meet the strangers. It's great. So now a very important question. Okay, so do you feel your expenses, your family, you must be interacting with your parents. Has your expenses reduced for your whole family during this COVID-19? Definitely for me, it has drastically reduced, no doubt. Whenever we go out for shopping and then go for restaurants, your petrol, diesel expenses, that all is totally reduced. Okay, guys, awesome audience you are. So let us just share the poll answer. So like 68% of the people feel that it has drastically reduced. Awesome, guys. So now let us enter into the most important vital area called human emotion. How many people feel there is an emotional imbalance happening due to this corona? Definitely few people already, the audience, you have answered that poll almost to a relevant question. That is, you have a fear or something like that. Is there any kind of a relationship change you can see between the staff, like teacher-student relationship, or father-mother and children relationship, or friends relationship, or a feeling anything? What kind of a relationship change you see and feel during this COVID-19? Is it positive or you feel negative? Positive, with better relationship inside the family and relatives and friends. No, I feel bad because I'm not able to meet the relative or friends in person. Since I'm not able to go and meet them in person, I feel bad about it. So whatever you feel, can you please poll, and then we will share the results. Okay, thank you. So since we are running short of time, I just want to make a quick polling. So I have shared you the poll. So like 61% of the people say it's they are very positive. They feel positive about the polling, about the COVID-19. That's something very, very great to hear. But still 39% of the people feel it's bad or they feel negative about it. Okay, so now let us just hear from a guy who got affected by corona and how he fought this corona and get back strongly. Shall we hear from him?
Hi everyone, my name is Rishi Giridhar. I'm from Mumbai and I am a recovered COVID patient. I tested positive on March 22nd, and here is my story of recovery and my experience at the hospital. I'm 21 years old and I'm a student at LSE in London. because of the COVID outbreak, me, as well as many other students, all decided to come home to our families, back to our home countries. So I flew back to Mumbai on the 17th of March. And when I flew back, I was totally healthy. I had no fever, no cough, absolutely nothing. And I passed airport checks. I was totally healthy. But despite this, my family and I decided that I should completely isolate away from them. I was fine for the first few days, but from day 2 or 3 onwards, my symptoms started to arise. These included fever, nausea, body pains, headache, fatigue, and I think on the 21st of March, which is 4 days after I landed, I was just walking around at home and I fainted, and I, unfortunately fell on my face and had some facial injuries, broke some teeth. So I think when I woke up, I called my family. They were totally calm. They just called our family doctor on the phone, and he advised me correctly to go to Kasturba Hospital in Mumbai to get myself tested.
Initially, Rishi's parents were a little worried, but they were eventually relieved that at least he's in the hospital and is being taken care of.
The building I was staying in was quarantined, and contact tracing was done, immediately. So I was called by hospital and government officials, and they found out who I was in contact with, how did I go from airport to home, how did I go from home to hospital, and who I was staying with at home. Thankfully, I was in contact with very few people because I did my best to maintain distance. We wore masks, etc. And everyone who I was in contact with was tested and was tested negative.
Rishi got tested on 21st March, and once he was tested positive, they shifted him to another ward.
I was in a room with one other patient, and he was also a COVID positive patient. But in the morning, nurses were in and they were doing all sorts of tests: X-ray, BP, blood test, blood oxygen, all sorts of things. And that's when I think more close monitoring was done in every patient. When I was kept in the ward, I was initially with one other person, and then I was transferred to another ward where there were 2 other people in my room, and it was generally a ward with multiple rooms. And there was no restriction on your phone or laptops, or it wasn't too. Obviously, the first few days are a bit feel a bit nervous, but docs and nurses are always taking rounds and checking up on you, which is reassuring. There are also people in the room, which is nice because it's a lot less lonely, and I ended up making some nice ward buddies. And they're constantly doing tests and checking stuff like BP and blood oxygen. They're also giving you medicines regularly, such as multivitamins and stuff. And also, we're giving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And mainly, it's just a matter of taking rest, drinking plenty of fluids, taking your medicines. The food at the hospital is just regular, it feels like a home-cooked meal. For 19 days I spent in the hospital, and I walked out without paying a penny. No, the treatment was great. They're really doing the best they can. I think it's easy to criticize government facilities, but when you're on the ground and there are so many patients and they're just running around all the time, and they're constantly checking every patient, doing tests, making sure everyone's okay. They're doing the best they can. I have nothing but gratitude to everyone who took care of me. It's been exactly 14 days since my discharge from the hospital. I had to do another precautionary 14-day quarantine, so I just completed that today. I feel fine now. Yeah, I feel totally fine. It seems that you can't really predict how this virus is going to affect you. It's also a very contagious virus, so if there's anything I'd like to say, it's to stay indoors, stay safe, just follow the state's orders.
Okay. Okay, hope this video was very useful and it would have given some kind of a confidence for you all guys who feel a fear to COVID-19. Still, you have to be very cautious, no doubt about it, wearing the mask, using sanitizer, social distancing and everything. Last but not the least, let us hear from Sundar Pichai. What do you want to say about this COVID-19 situation?
Hello everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2020, as well as your parents, your teachers, and everyone who helped you get to this day. I never imagined I'd be giving a commencement speech with no live audience from my backyard, but it's giving me a much deeper understanding for what our YouTube creators go through. And I certainly never thought I'd be sharing a virtual stage with a former president, a first lady, a Lady Gaga, and a Queen Bee, not to mention BTS. I don't think this is the graduation ceremony any of you imagine. At a time when you should be celebrating all the knowledge you've gained, you may be grieving what you've lost. The moves you planned, the jobs you earned, and the experiences you were looking forward to. In bleak moments like these, it can be difficult to find hope. So let me skip right to the end and tell you what happens. You will prevail. That's not really the end of the speech, so don't get too excited. The reason I know you'll prevail is because so many others have done it before you. 100 years ago, the class of 1920 graduated into the end of a deadly pandemic. 50 years ago, the class of 1970 graduated in the midst of Vietnam War. And nearly 20 years ago, the class of 2001 graduated just months before 9/11. There are notable examples like this. They had to overcome new challenges, and in all cases, they prevailed. The long arc of history tells us we have every reason to be hopeful. So be hopeful. There is an interesting trend I've noticed. It's very conventional for every generation to underestimate the potential of the following one. It's because they don't realize that the progress of one generation becomes the foundational premise for the next. And it takes a new set of people to come along and realize all the possibilities. I grew up without much access to technology. We didn't get our first telephone till I was 10. I didn't have regular access to a computer until I came to America for graduate school. Under television, when we finally got one, only had one channel. So imagine how awestruck I am today to be speaking to you on a platform that has millions of channels. By contrast, you grew up with computers of all shapes and sizes. The ability to ask a computer anything, anywhere. The very thing I've spent my last decade working on is not amazing to you. That's okay. It doesn't make me feel to you. That's okay. It doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me hopeful. There are probably things about technology that frustrate you and make you impatient. Don't lose that impatience. It'll create the next technology revolution and enable you to build things my generation could never dream of. You may be just as frustrated by my generation's approach to climate change or education. Be impatient. It'll create the progress the world needs. You will make the world better in your own way, even if you don't know exactly how. The important thing is to be open-minded so that you can find what you love. For me, it was technology. The more access my family had to technology, the better our lives got. So when I graduated, I knew I wanted to do something to bring technology to as many others as possible. At the time, I thought I could achieve this by building better semiconductors. I mean, what could be more exciting than that? My father spent the equivalent of a year's salary on my plane ticket to the US so I could attend Stanford. It was my first time ever on a plane. But when I eventually landed in California, things weren't as I had imagined. America was expensive. A phone call back home was more than $2 a minute, and a backpack cost the same as my dad's monthly salary in India. And for all the talk about the warm California beaches, that water was freezing cold. On top of all that, I missed my family, my friends, and my girlfriend, now my wife, back in India. A bright spot for me during this time was computing. For the first time in my life, I could use a computer whenever I wanted to. Completely blew my mind. And at that same moment, the internet was literally being built all around me. The year I arrived at Stanford was the same year the browser Mosaic was released, which would popularize the World Wide Web and the internet. The summer I left was the same summer that a graduate student named Sergey Brin met a prospective engineering student named Larry Page. These two moments would profoundly shape the rest of my life. But at the time, I didn't know it. It took me a while to realize that the internet would be the single best way to make technology accessible to more people. And as soon as I did, I changed course and decided to pursue my dreams at Google. Inspired by the wonder that first browser created in me, I led the effort to launch one called Chrome in 2009 and drove the effort to help Google develop affordable laptops and phones so that a student growing up in any neighborhood or village in any part of the world could have the same access to information as all of you. Had I stayed the course in graduate school, I'd probably have a PhD today, which would have made my parents really proud. But I might have missed the opportunity to bring the benefits of technology to so many others. And I certainly wouldn't be standing here speaking to you as Google's CEO. Believe me when I say I saw none of this coming when I first touched down in the state of California 27 years ago. The only thing that got me from there to here, other than luck, was a deep passion for technology and an open mind. So take the time to find the thing that excites you more than anything else in the world, not the thing your parents want you to do, or the thing that all your friends are doing, or that society expects of you. I know you're getting a lot of advice today, so let me leave you with mine. Be open, be impatient, be hopeful. If you can do that, history will remember the class of 2020, not for what you lost, but for what you changed. You have the chance to change everything. I'm optimistic you will. Thank you.
Okay, so fantastic. So we are at the end of the session. As Sundar Pichai told, actually the three key words which you need to remember is to be open, to be impatient for new innovation, which will break this obstacle of COVID-19. And the third one is be hopeful that we will fight together this COVID-19 and come out with flying colors and make this universe, the whole world, safe place to live. Thank you one and all for being here patiently with the entire session of about 1.5 hours. And awesome audience you were, and all the best, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really a wonderful session that depicts the current situation. And we convey a heartfelt thanks to you for sharing your valuable knowledge with us. We have a few questions from the participants, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. The first one, ICMR predicts November mid that Corona will reach its peak. What should be done, or what is being done to overcome this? Is it a live or die? Is it a boon or a crisis?
Definitely, as I have already indicated, it is a crisis moment for us. Unless we take it very seriously, it is going to kill all of us. No doubt. We are a predator for them. We have to be very careful. You can see the scenario now in Chennai and also in Mumbai, two key areas in the whole nation. We have to be very careful. We should maintain the social distancing. As I told you, we are not very much focused on wearing the mask, even when you are in indoor. Inside your home also, we should wear that. That's what I feel. We have to take it very seriously. Otherwise, we are going to be the predator, no doubt.
Thank you very much, sir. One last question.
Yes.
We say that the situation is going to persist still more. then in what aspects should I make myself ready, being a teacher, being a student, and being a common man?
Okay. So are you a student? Is he a student, or the question is from a student or a teacher?
I think it's a student, sir.
Okay. So I think you start living what you are. Okay. So you being a student, I think it's a time for you to learn a lot from different people. They say that information overloaded now. Actually, so many webinars are happening, and it's time for you to explore and get so many information as much possible, especially on your interest area. Don't be a junk. Don't be a dustbin to get all the information from different sources. Choose which is an important area or a vital area you prefer to travel, and then focus on that so that you don't have this information overload synchrone with you. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One last question. They have asked,
Yes,
why WHO did not take any precautions to prevent this?
I feel it is not the organization. Like if you see the Kerala government, irrespective of WHO had taken any initiative prior to that, since December itself they have started taking initiative. Am I right? So we should not, it should not be like you blaming others in this critical situation that why they have not taken. You have to just make sure that we take the initiative. We have to make sure we help others also to be safe by wearing mask or whatever the precautionary steps you need to take. And it's not the time to blame, but to take action ourselves.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And that's all we have in the questions chat box today.
Okay.
I thank you once again, sir, for such a wonderful session. It was totally lively. It was like not like only the speaker is talking, but we had like so many polls and so many videos which made the total session very lively. Thank you very much for taking your time and presenting this webinar, sir.
Fantastic, ma'am. Fantastic. And it was a great pleasure for me also to be here as one of the speaker. And then I feel really blessed to convey my experience and my knowledge to this audience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining with us. We thank all the participants for joining with us today. Hope you would have enjoyed the session well and all our questions have been answered by our speaker. Announcement about our upcoming webinar. Our upcoming webinar is on automation in the cloud software application by Mr. Shashti Gopinath Paranjoti, Senior Software Development Engineer, Hexaware Technologies, Chennai, scheduled on June 20th from 4 to 5 p.m. I repeat once again, our upcoming webinar is on the topic it is on automation, the cloud software applications by Mr. Shashti Gopinath Paranjoti, Senior Software Development Engineer, Hexaware Technologies, Chennai, scheduled on June 20th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. I request all the faculties and students to attend the webinar and get benefited. Meet you all in the next session of the webinar series. I request all the participants to fill up the feedback form that will be posted in the chat box with the correct email IDs. The feedback form will be posted shortly in the chat box. Kindly fill up the feedback form with the correct email IDs. Kindly complete filling up the feedback form within 30 minutes after the session gets over. We would like to inform that the feedback form will not be shared through WhatsApp or through email. I repeat once again, kindly fill up the feedback form with the correct email IDs. This link will not be shared through WhatsApp or email, and the feedback link will be closed 30 minutes after the end of the session. Thank you all for the participation. Stay safe. The link for registering for our upcoming webinar has also been posted in the chat box. The upcoming webinar is on automation in the cloud software applications by Mr. Shashti Gopinath Paranjoti, Senior Software Development Engineer, Hexaware Technologies, Chennai, scheduled on June 20th between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. I request all the faculties and students to attend the webinar and get benefited. Thank you. The session has been officially ended. Participants can leave after filling up the feedback form. The feedback link as well as the registration link for tomorrow's webinar has been posted in the chat box. Participants can kindly make use of it for register for our upcoming webinars.